I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth, His wisdom, that I may be worthy of conveying His truth, and so that we may sanctify His name and bring peace to the world. First, we gathered together many distinguished people from the communities here, and I'm sure there are people who have come from different parts of New Jersey and other parts of the world. And certainly I have my colleagues, for instance, Sheikh Katanani, my dear friend, and my other colleagues, the imams, are all from Palestine. We are friends for many years, and they have also constantly conveyed the message of their friendship and of their coexistence that they have had in Palestine and Palestine. But I also came with my brethren, my Jewish brethren, who are some 8 generations Palestinian. My esteemed Rabbi, Rabbi Beck, who was also from Palestine and left because he didn't want to be under the occupation. And I have a message from my colleagues who constantly call me, my Jewish friends from Palestine, every day concerned. What is happening? What are we doing to speak up? And they have a message, and our message is, Kula bina ma Gaza, Kula bina ma Palestine, Kula bina tabki ala Gaza, Kula bina tabki ala Palestine. This is the message that they have from Palestine. My brethren from Palestine, my Jewish brethren together who are suffering, who feel your suffering in Palestine and in Gaza. We cry, and we have a double cry, and our tears are drying. There's so much tears that have been shed. It is being done. This terrible Nakba, this tragedy is being done in our name, in the name of the Jewish religion. They have hijacked and stolen the Star of David, the name Israel, has been stolen from us, Jews. What is Judaism? Subservience to the Almighty. What is Zionism and the State of Israel? A transformation to a base nationalism, a political movement that is masquerading in Jewishness. They are masquerading in our skins, and they are claiming that they are the villains and they are the victims, and the villains are the people of Gaza. How despicable, how false that is. We can testify as my senior colleagues that they have lived with the people of Palestine, they have lived with the people of Gaza. These are our true friends, these are our true brothers and sisters. The Almighty should hear what we have to say. The Almighty does hear, and with His compassion we turn to Him, and we plead with our world leaders, with the government here, the esteemed president of ours here in the United States, the prime ministers and presidents throughout the world. Don't be intimidated. Do not be frightened by the powers of Zionism. These are evil. These are not the godly powers. They are bringing you false portrayals. They are claiming that they are victims. But why are they victims? Because they have occupied another people. We are not condoning violence, but you cannot oppress a people and expect that they will be silent. How long can they be silent? We plead with you, government officials, do you want to stop this endless river of bloodshed? Arab, Muslim, Christians and Jews, do you really want to stop them? Do not listen to these false words of the Zionist regime. Listen to the truth. And the truth is, we have been living, Jews, Muslims, and Christians for hundreds of years in peace and harmony. Why have we not necessitated a UN or human rights groups to protect us? Why were we able to live unprotected in full harmony? And as a fine young man from the Paterson community, a Muslim Arab came to me and he said that his great-grandmother breastfed this Jewish neighbor's child, and we know that it went both ways. Why was this possible? Because this is not a religious conflict. This has nothing to do with the difference of religion. It has to do with one thing, and one thing only. A selfish, flawed, political occupation of another people. That is what it is all about. Let us face reality. Till Zionism came about, we were coexisting in harmony. We were Africa enjoyed the respect of the United Nations. What does that mean, the United Nations? United hundreds of nations with thinkers, with brilliant scholars, with politicians, world entities, yet they gave South Africa a seat in the United Nations even though they were practicing an oppression of another people. And they were respected. And when somebody stood up, he was arrested and called a terrorist. Nelson Mandela was listed as a terrorist here in the United States. How is that possible? How can you explain this to your children? It is impossible logically to explain, and yet these are the facts on the ground. We are living through the same thing in Palestine. The facts on the ground. The history dictates, and the history is pure evidence, is witness to the fact that we live together, and there was no religious, there is a distinct religious difference, but this was never an impediment to peace. And then a movement came from Europe, around 100 years ago, with a plan to create a land for a distinct people from the Jewish origin. I hate to refer them as Jews, but from the Jewish origin. And they decided that the land is theirs, and they waved the Bible as a deed to the land. Well, we are standing here and telling you that deed is false. They have no right to the claim of the land. And if you will go to every Jewish community, whether it is in Al-Quds in Jerusalem or in London, and if you will go to Montreal, New York, or Australia, invariably the very religious do not accept Zionism or the occupation. We do not celebrate the state of Israel. We mourn the existence of the state of Israel because we are Jews. Judaism is not Zionism. Judaism is subservience to God. Zionism is a transformation to nationalism. There is no time, there's many speakers. I do not want to hold the platform. I want you to know that we are humiliated and we cry and suffer with the people of Palestine. We are there with you. We will continue to speak up with God's help and not be intimidated. We ask all of you. We ask all of you, firstly, to pray to the Almighty, to bring a speedy and God help peaceful removal of this state, Zionist state of Israel, to bring a full free Palestine. And at the same time, we cannot rest with that. We have to stand up and not be afraid of being referred to as anti-Semitic or self-hating Jews. Stand up because God is righteous and just. We must stand up and tell the world we cannot sleep when Gazan people are suffering and dying. They have no food, they have no water, they are suffering. We as a human community cannot be silent. We will stand and continue. Together let us go and scream free Palestine and plead with our leaders, free Gaza, free Palestine. Tachia Gaza, Tachia Palestine. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow. Thank you for such powerful sentiment, and thank you